Good morning everyone. Welcome to chessroots.com. Okay, today we're gonna learn all the basic things involved in a chess game, all the rules and how the pieces will move, arrangement of pieces and notation and remaining things to play a chess game. First of all, we'll learn how to arrange a chessboard. Chessboard arrangement is pretty easy. The thing is, there is some notation mentioned like A, B, C, D and till H, and here 1 to 8. So if you find these, you can directly keep the chessboard, or if you don't have this like an empty board, like in this type of board, then you can recognize a chessboard by seeing the left hand corner square should be a black square. Okay, now we'll see how to arrange our chess pieces. In chessboard, there are two sides. One is white and black, and there are 16 pieces for white and 16 pieces for black. In total of 64 squares, and 32 are white squares and 32 are black squares. So let us see all the pieces involved in chess game. First of all, this is king, and king will be placed on this square. Now as you can see, both the kings are in opposite direction and are placed in the wrong color. So white king will be usually placed in black square and black king will be in white square. The next thing is the queen. Queens will be next bigger piece after king, and queens will be in same colors. White queen will be in white square, black queen will be in black square. Next after queen there will be two bishops for each side, and there are two bishops for each sides. After bishops there are knights, and knights, there are two knights for each side, and there are two rooks for each side. After the rooks there will be 8 pawns on the each side, like this. So this is how we usually arrange a chessboard. Next is we're gonna learn the movements of chess pieces. We'll start with king. King can move any square in all directions by one step. See, for example, if white king is on e3, it can go any square around this king in one square, whereas black king can even go any number of square in one step. So in a chess game, the king is the most important piece, and two kings can never come close to each other. Now the both kings are close to each other but by one square. Two kings never come each close to each other, and king can never give check to an opponent king. And in chess game we should not capture the king. Instead we try to block the king with all the pieces and try to give him a checkmate. Next is we're gonna learn the pieces movements. We'll start with rook. Rook will go any number of squares in a straight direction or horizontal direction. A rook can go to any number of square when there is no obstruction. So for example, if there is a pawn on g5, now the rook cannot go and pass through this pawn and cannot cross to h5. Or if a black pawn is on g5, it can capture with rook g5. So a rook will move till any number of squares when there is no obstruction in that particular file or rank. First of all, we'll see what is a file and what is a rank. Rook moves straight and horizontally. We'll call them as files and ranks. Let us see with a notation board where you have a good idea. Now see, this rook is on E file. This full thing is called E file and the horizontal thing is called a rank, and this is called fifth rank. So rook will move both in files and ranks. Now we'll see how a bishop moves. A bishop moves like a cross. See, for example, now the bishop is on E5. It will move like a cross direction. In chess we'll call this as diagonals. So a rook moves in files and ranks, whereas a bishop moves in diagonals. Now let us see how a queen moves. Now we can see a queen is the most powerful piece in a chess game after king. As we see, when a queen is placed in the center, it can move to maximum number of squares in chessboard. A queen will move just like a combination of a rook and a bishop. For example, if a rook is on E5, it can go both rank wise and file wise, while the queen will do the same performance and it can go diagonally like a bishop. So when a queen is in the center, it can cover the maximum number of squares of 27. So queen is the most powerful piece in a chess game. Next we are gonna learn how a knight will move. Knight is having a unique step which is famously called as L shape. In any position, knight will simply go like a L. Can you read this green color, which is less written as an L square? So knight will be moving in L square in all directions. In rook ranks files, it will go like all directions. For example, we'll see in the rank wise, this is a L. In the other side, this is an L. In the same wise, in file wise, this is an L. So when knight is placed in the black square, it will always go to a white square. There is a peculiar feature for a knight. The only piece that can jump from other pieces is knight. Next, we are going to learn how a pawn moves. A pawn moves in straight direction till the end, and a pawn will capture any pawn or a piece diagonally by one step. For example, the black pawn is on E3. Now white pawn can capture this diagonally by one step, like this. Even black pawn will come in the same direction and it will capture by diagonally one step, like this. Okay, pawn is the only thing that can never come back in a chess game. For example, if a pawn is moved, it can never go back and to its original position. When a pawn is in the starting stage, it can move either 2 squares or 1 square. For example, this is the position where pawn is on D2. It can go directly to D4, or you can play D3. A pawn has a 2-step or 1-step in a starting place where the pawn will be kept in a board in a original position. So in chess we have a unique names for every square in a chessboard. Let us see the square which is starting from left hand corner square of the white is A1, and this square is a2 and a3. For example, the white king is on a6, and let us keep some pieces and see what is the position of the pieces and what are the square names. For example, the white queen is placed on square which is f5 and 6th rank. So this square name is called f6, and this piece is called queen, and in notation form we will write this as queen f6. Now let us see what is a checkmate. Before going to checkmate, let us see what is a check. A check means when the king is directly under attack and the king have to give a response for the check. While check, we don't have any options to play any other moves. The king have to reply for the check. And now what we'll see is a checkmate. Now if you play queen a8, and this is called as a checkmate. A checkmate is the only way that you can win a particular game, and that involves when the king is directly under attack by the opponent piece and king cannot run away to any other square, or king don't have a chance to block a piece in between the king and the queen, or king don't have a piece where that can capture the opponent piece, and there is a way to block a piece in between the king and a check piece, then the situation is called a checkmate. So there are three kinds of ways that we can protect a check from a king. For example, now see this position. When a white queen give queen a8 check like this, now black have three options. One is to escape the king from the check. Now the king is no more under check. And the second thing is to capture the piece which is giving check. Now the king is no more under check. And the third thing is to block a piece in between the king and the check piece. Now the king is still not under a check. So there is a three-way to answer a check, and while check the king have to reply for the check. And for the knight check, there is only two ways to reply a knight check. One is to run the king away from the check, and other is to capture the check. The reason why knight we cannot capture, we cannot block the piece between the king and queen is knight will jump and give a check in a L shape. So there is no way any piece can block a knight check.